Some of the things that Citizen Lab has done in the past that have had incredibly high impact, at least in the circles that I sort of travel in, were investigations of
Kind of
the sort
scares
of
me when you said that.
the corporate involvement uh, in surveillance, right? They're making a business of surveillance that preys on the vulnerabilities of our systems. And this is where they develop or they hire really talented, really capable people, people who could be fixing fundamental problems, people who could be saving lives, people who could be protecting journalists. And instead of allocating these people in sort of the defense of free societies, they're being paid significant amounts of money to develop attacks, to develop exploits that are then not patched, they're not fixed, they're sold to governments and countries like Sudan, where they're being used against activists and human rights organizations. And it's creating kind of a moral hazard where when you start to set a standard, when you start to create a culture paradigm where it's more rewarding to work against a liberal open society than it is to work in defense of it, what does this mean? And when it happens in secret, without the knowledge of, let's be honest, 99% of the public, what does that really say for how effective our journalism is, for how effective the free press rights and sort of paradigms that we have the privilege of using, how much positive impact they're actually having in sort of curtailing and preventing the moral abuses that traditionally in the past, once exposed, would begin to sort of shrink away and wither when exposed to light. So these investigations are powerful, but at the same time, once you've shown it's there, you have to move on to the next thing. And Citizen Lab's done a really good job of that. I would say one of the big challenges here is finding out how do we normalize the idea that academics can work on problems, that governments are actively opposed to them investigating, and create a counterculture here that is much like journalists, at least at some point in our history, self-identified that the idea that their role in society was to be a watchdog, to be an adversary to government, to hold the government to account. Can we get academics to embrace those same ideas?